crafty friends. Sandy Doux here from Doux Designs. And we are going to shake it up tonight. So usually when we have a live, we do a lot of coloring, but not tonight. Hi, Diana. So usually it's all about the coloring, and then we make a card or we make a craft or something. But tonight I thought that we would use the stuff that's already made, and then we don't have to do the coloring. But we're not just going to make one card, because you know, we know that would go by super fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to make several cards tonight, and we're going to use ephemera from the shop. So this particular one is called Creepy Fun Ephemera, and there are many images inside of there. And then we're going to use the caution tape from the construction vehicles set as well. So while I'm waiting for a few people to pop on, let's just look at this real quick. I pulled out a few that I'm going to use, and then these are some of the other ones in there. So these were colored by me, and then we printed them on really nice paper, made it into ephemera. So these are drawn by me and then colored by me. So I hope that you like them. We also switch them up a little bit. You get sometimes different sizes. So like these little clowns, one's bigger than the other. And then usually there's two of each one. So this is the same way. One's bigger than the other. Then we switch the directions. So there's the cat and here's the other cat. So different sizes, but also flip-flop directions. When the direction doesn't matter, they look the same, but they're, you know, just two different sizes. And then this one, same way, and clowns. And so when we can switch it, we do. There's a bunch of little guys in here, spiders, mosquitoes, flies. And I've left most of those out on my desk so that we could use them tonight if they work with the cards. So I left them out just because they're little, and if we need a little decal, we could just punch one of these in there. But they're also flip-flopped, so you can make them like, ooh, you could put a little heart over it, and these little flies are in love, whatever. You know what I mean? So, in addition to the ephemera sets that we have in the shop, and we have like 8 or 9 of them, and we do a new one for each new release, but I thought we'd play with some creepy fun ones since they're Halloween-ish.
Do your thing to swipe to get the comments.
Because there's comments?
Yeah.
Are you guys saying hello? Because I don't see your comments. Oh, there we go. Hey, Beth. So yeah. Hey, Cheryl. You're scared of clowns? Well, we're not using the clown tonight, so you can still watch. I did not opt for the clown tonight. I know there's a big, long word for people who are afraid of clowns, but it's hard for me to say, so I don't say it. You have to add some into your scrapbooks for your grandkids. Yeah, these are really cool, super cool. So just real quick while we're just sitting here, I'm just going to use the caution tape. So there's a bunch of caution tape in here. I've already pulled a few out. And then vehicles, construction vehicles, and the cones, the construction signs. So when you get the images, like if you buy the digital, you just get the vehicles. Thank goodness. You don't get these are extras that only come in the ephemera set. So there's lots of, you know, under construction vehicle. Oh, maybe we can use that. That might be fun. And then stop signs and vehicles. And again, I color them and then we make them into ephemera. So a lot of our stuff that we sell in the shop is made here at our home base, headquarters, whatever you want to call it. Either art or designing is done by me or Dale, and then we create them and do all the cutting and do all the preparation and packaging and all that goody stuff. We don't send that out for anything. The only ones we don't package ourselves are the stamp sets.
And paper pads.
And the paper pads aren't in a package, really. Well, yeah, I guess they are. Yeah, so this set actually comes with 2 clowns in it. I got my hand over the clowns. But everything else in it is super cute. All right, and now let's talk about one more thing before we get started. So, I know we have showed our very cute ephemera. Shaker bits that we have in the shop. These are the ones that I actually have in my little tray. This is from the Dollar Tree. It's super cheap and, you know, $1.25, and you get these little thingies, and I put my shaker bits in there because it makes them easy for me to just take out and put back and use. So when you buy it in the shop, though, only half the bag fits in the little circle, because you get a lot more than this. So what I thought we would do tonight is play with some of these shaker bits. A few people have asked for sizes, like how big are the circles, or how big are the things that are inside of it. This one is like I cut these little clay pieces from like a long tube of clay, like I was doing today, that I posted in the group. So this one right here is called Candy Pop, because I feel like these little round circles in here look like candy to me. So I felt like this was a really cute candy pop set. So yeah, I really like that. So I mix all the different stuff in there. I pick what goes in there, and it's super fun. This one is Think Pink, and it has like ladybugs and flowers, and there's some candy in there as well, and there's butterflies. And yes, I cut all these clay pieces myself from long tubes, so it took a long time. But they're pretty small, so they're inside my hand, so they do fit in the shaker pouches. So I thought we would show that tonight when we make a few shaker cards. And when we do that, we're going to do it 3 different ways. So if you have made shaker cards, but you're never really sure exactly how to do it, we're going to do 3 different shaker cards tonight. So it's going to be fun, but it's 3 different ways you could do shaker cards if you wanted to. So this one is called Ocean Mist, but there's not really anything like mermaids or shells or anything in here that you couldn't use with something else. So even though we call it Ocean Mist, we are going to use it tonight on the project that we're going to work on first. So there we go. I'm going to set that aside. We have quite a few of these in the shop, and we will have more when the new release comes out, because you guys saw me cutting it today. Nobody has guessed. Are you going to leave us hanging? None of us could guess what you're making. Yes. How do you cut them so thin? I have some I bought a long time ago, and I can't cut them. Is there a cutter for them you use? I wish I could say yes, and Dale has talked about making me one, but this is a razor blade that Dale put tape on because my fingers got so sore. But no, I literally slice them with a razor blade. It sits up here on my desk for whenever I cut, but yeah, no, I cut them with a razor blade. Yeah, I have not cut myself at all through the whole process, so that's really great news. So am I going to tell you what it is? Maybe. I might tell you by the end of the night, but if I tell you exactly what it is, it's going to give you a really big hint to what's coming next weekend. Not this weekend, but after we get into September. I believe the date is like the 4th or 5th or whatever that Friday is coming up. Not this Friday, but the next one. That's when our new release is going to hit, and I think you guys are going to super love it. That is not a good way. Well, it was the only way I could do it. So I think you guys are really going to like this one, but someone just guessed, was it Halloween-ish? And it is not. Our release is not Halloween release. I know everyone else is doing Halloween, but because we're a new company and we only have a limited number of stamps in our shop, we don't want to focus on one that won't sell all year. So for now, in the beginning, we're doing more universal type images, and then once we have a significant amount in stock, then we'll start doing holidays specific and stuff like that. I'm sorry, Beth. Yeah, I will eventually tell you, I promise. And I might have a giveaway for tonight. So we're going to use this. This is called the training card die. So what it really is this makes a Pokeball. And so these two pieces make a training card, you know, like if you have kids, you'll know what that is, or if you collected them when you were little. But we're not going to make a training card. We're just going to make it into like a picture frame kind of thing with a shaker in it. So anyway, we'll get started and you'll see, but I've already pre-cut these because I can't cut them on my small die cut machine. I had to use the big one. So I cut them before it started. So this one will probably go faster than the other ones. I'm going to scoot out just a little bit more so you guys can really see what I'm doing. I have a die for sentiment, and then I have a window sheet. So if you've ever done a shaker card with a window sheet, that is what we are going to do first. And then after that, we'll start using different methods of shakers. But the traditional one that we used to do, or that we originally did, the very first time I made a shaker card, was we had to actually build it, like from scratch, build it. So what I have here in front of me is the card base being in this teal color right here. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it because we are going to put these cards together tonight. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. If you stick around, I might show you what that clay piece was before we get off of the video. I also pulled some of this this is like corrugated like paper that I've had for like a bazillion years, and I'm really trying hard to use it. So this is what the die cut does. It cuts this back piece, and then you get this piece that goes over it. So can you kind of see the whole training card idea? But we're going to decorate it up so it doesn't look like that. So we're going to make this kind of a gaming with our little voodoo doll here. I used this pattern paper and cut it in this because I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. And then I cut this down to make the size of the shaker card that I want to make. So the front panel is going to be the window sheet, which we're going to put on there in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim it, but I just found it in the drawer. And then this will be the back piece that will hold the shaker mix in. So there'll be shaker stuff inside there with the gaming stuff. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and just put this window sheet just slightly longer than this under sheet and then trim it off, because I know we're going to need to trim it. So we're going to go ahead and just make sure it's not bigger than the square. So now we have the two pieces that we need. You need a piece of acetate, which, by the way, I got these at some like cheap, like where people donate stuff and then you buy it. It's kind of like a Goodwill, but it was called something else. I don't remember. They don't have it anymore since COVID, but used to, you could go over there, people would just drop off their stuff, and I bought like a humongous stack of these for like $2. So I have a ton of these little shaker pouch things. So let's get started. All of these pieces are going to layer up. We're just not there yet. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to get this window sheet on there, because we have to have a way to make sure that our shaker pieces stay inside what we make. I've always wanted to make a shaker cart. Yes, and we're going to actually make 3 different ways. So this, to me, feels like the most complicated way. So if I start getting into it, don't give up and leave, because the next 2 ways are much, much easier. This is just the first way we learned, and then people made shortcuts. So I got this from Stampin' Up. It's strips of foam. And I got this one from Amazon. It's thicker strips of foam. But since this is so tiny, we're going to need to use this one for this particular project. So it's sticky on both sides, but one side has tape on it. So we'll use that. First, we have to stick this to our sheet. So normally I would do that with double-sided sticky tape, but the Barely Art glue works just as good. So if you're ever worried about your glue, like I don't know if I can speak for any other glue, but I can speak for Barely Art glue. I love it. And it's the only glue that I would use in place of double-sided sticky tape because it's so great. So what I'm going to do is just put a tiny line of this around the window area. It doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as you get it around the window area. And then we're going to take that plastic sheet, if I don't lose it. That's why I'm glad we're attaching it right away, because goodness gracious. Now remember, when we first put this glue down, that you can move it around for a little bit. So we're going to have to give it a little bit of time before we mess with it too much. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use my soda press to press that down on the acrylic so I can get a really good stick. I really want that glue to stick to that acrylic, and this just kind of spreads that glue out and makes it hold really good. So you can see how it presses it down and starts to like seal it up. So that is why I love this tool. All right, so once we get that on there, we now have a window sheet. And we're going to let that dry for just a little bit. And I'm going to grab this piece right here, because I'm going to need them both. And then we're now going to put that foam tape around the same kind of place that we put the glue. So we're just going to take this and we're going to start feeding it around. Now, just to make sure to hold on that piece, I'm going to go a little bit higher than I need to go, just, you know, for secure purposes. But you want to make sure that you keep it inside this line right here. See how it doesn't go over the line, so you won't see it from the front? And they do make black foam tape like this, which is way better for doing this, because then you can't see it from the side. I like it way better, but I don't have any, so we're just going to use the white. There we go. And then, I don't know if this one will fit the full length. Nope. So when you have smaller pieces, if you bump them up together, you have to push them very, very snug. Otherwise, you get space in between and your shaker bits fall out. So you don't want that to happen. You need to make sure that they're really close. All right, I need me another one of these strips. Late. Oh, that's okay, Mama. Don't worry about it. Okay, I like to bump them up against and keep going, but you can curve them. See how this stuff just curves? If you want. I normally like to cut it and replace it, but it's up to you on what you like to do. But I will show you what it looks like if you curve it around. So this is why this stuff from Stampin' Up! Was super cool, was because you could just curve it around like that, and you didn't even have to cut it or pick it up or anything. But I feel like I get a cleaner line if I just cut it. So I usually cut it, and then I put this, I want this bottom one to be real close to that line. Otherwise the shaker bits fall down lower and then you can't see them. So I'm going to put this real close to that line. I know that's going to be a little bit hard for you guys to see temporarily. Oh, hello. I'm sorry you're in the hospital. I hope you're doing okay. I'm going to trim that. And then I'm going to squish that down in there because I want that to fit real snug right there. Now, if I wanted it to be just this far, I could do it, or I could double layer it if I really wanted to. But because this part is popped up, all of this is going to have to be popped up too. We're not going to put anything in it, but we do have to pop it up. So to save these little tiny strips, I tend to use this. I wonder if it's the same height. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, but I think it's okay. I think it'll be all right. So I'm just going to use some of this because it's just easier for me. It's quicker and faster, and I think I'm all right with it being shorter. It is a bit shorter. I could double it and then like this. I'll show you. I could just double it and it's about the right height. See? So whichever way you want to do it works fine either way. I don't want that extra piece hanging out over there though. All right, so now I got to put another one on top of that too because I did it on the other one. You know, sometimes that happens. But yeah, this is the harder one. It's not hard, it's just time consuming compared to the much quicker process we're going to do here in a few minutes. So sometimes I just layer them on top of each other right now while they're right here because then they're not sticky on either side, and that just makes it go faster for me. So you can also fold it over like this, cut it, and then press it together. So I just buy this stuff off Amazon. It's pretty cheap. It's not really expensive, and it works really well. I also buy it in sheets of 8.5 by 11 and then cut them in half, and I use them for the whole card base if I want to lift it up. So I have a couple of different things that I do with those. I really like them. If I need to, I cut these in half sometimes, but I don't really think we need to do that right now. I need to have some over here, and I need to have a little bit in this other area. I use a lot of this stuff just because I don't like it when I turn this over and it dips down. See how it dips down right there? I don't like that. That really does bother me. So it's a personal preference, but it really bothers me. So I'm gonna turn it over one more time and make sure that that's okay. I probably need another little piece there. And I only have one right here, so that might be part of the problem. Let's see if that fixes it. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, I'm also going to take this little piece that I had left over and put it along here because I really don't want this to dent down either. I'm going to cut it so that I can space it apart and only have to use this one piece. That way I don't have to use two. Okay, so this piece right here is what's going to go right here. Okay, it's what's going to go over top of our shaker mix that we're going to put in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off 3 sides of this paper. 3 sides of just what's around the window. And then we're going to leave this one on there, but we're going to open it and fold it over like this so it sticks out. And you'll see what that's for here in a minute. And this stuff is really sticky, so watch out. You're old school. We cut our stamp edges to pop stuff. Yes, yes, yes. I have heard of that. So now I'm going to place this on there. Come on, don't be finicky on me. There we go. All right, now all of this is stuck down, but this side is not. So this is where we're going to put the shaker bits in here, okay? We're gonna drop them down in there, then we'll pull this tab and seal it shut. So it should be pretty easy. These are our shaker bits, and we have our little tray here. And just basically what I do is put whatever I want into the tray. I'm going to put it all in there. And then I'm going to take the tray and I'm going to put it inside here and then just pour it all in there. See how handy this thing is? Super great. I'm going to kind of shake it around, make sure it looks okay. I think it's going to be totally fine, so I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, and then I'm going to seal this shut. So now, when you turn it over, everything is in there. It's like completely stuck in there. So that's how you build it if you're wanting to build just a small shaker piece. It's pretty cool, huh? It worked out really good. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to peel off the pieces and place this on top of here. Okay, I want it on top of this black cardstock. So I just need to peel off all the places that I put on there that I haven't peeled off yet. So there's definitely one underneath here, which will also help stick that paper down. But let me get all the ones that are up underneath there off of there first, and then I will press that down. Then we'll remove these. You can put your images on the paper before you place the shaker part in there if you want it to be inside the window, but I didn't want anything to be in there with that. I just wanted it to be on the outside. These little guys are sticky. I should have used my anti-stick thingy, but I didn't. And then I'm going to put some glue on the paper part. The rest of it I'm okay with, but just in case you have, like if you get nervous about putting something on the paper and having it stick immediately, which these will, you can just put a little bit of this glue over top and it'll allow you to be able to move that around a little bit once you place it on the cardstock, so you won't have to worry about, yeah, I knew there was a little goober on there. So you don't have to worry about not being able to move it around at all. Because it's always hard for me to center on black on top of this blue desk. So I have to actually stand up so I can make sure that I have it centered on there. And it'll allow me to move it just a little bit because the glue isn't dry yet. But it won't give me very much time. I just get like a second or two. Come on. Once it sticks, it's stuck. So this is why I like to put that little bit of glue on there, so I have a little bit of time to press that down. So that worked out really, really good. So now we have this trading card from Sassy Club. And I think this would be really fun. I do have the Pokemon stamp sets that we can do sometime and make a trainer card. And I think that would be fun, but I just really wanted to use this die. Okay, So now we have our shakers. Let me just clean up just a teeny bit. Okay, so now I have to get more ocean mist out of the out of stock because that's all I had. All right, and we're gonna put several different things on here, okay? Remember we had this piece of this corrugated stuff? I thought it would look really good underneath here. I thought it would make that red and black really pop. So we're just gonna place that directly on top of there. So just put some glue on the back of this. And we're going to place that on top of here. Again, Fairly Art glue gives you a couple of seconds to be able to move it around. It doesn't give you a lot of time, but it does give you a little bit. So if you start noticing that you're not getting it straight where you want, I would suggest completely taking it off right away so you can put more glue on it and try again. But if you feel like you're almost there, it'll give you enough time to get there. All right, so now even better, how cute is that? Super fun. You can make that size shaker any size you want when it's a window and these strips, any size you want. So you can make them small, big, square, whatever you want, whatever you want. I have this paper also. It says arcade, game over, level 1. It's pretty cool. So I'm using paper pads from several different companies. So as I use them, I will tell you where they're from. This particular one is from Scrappy Boy. This is his gamer one. I Love Games is what it's called. And there's that one and that one. And so I just thought that would be perfect with the fact that this is a training card. So I'm going to put this down here. I think you could even make this look like a Game Boy if you were really creative. If you guys remember what a Game Boy looked like, it looked like that. So you could actually make it a trainer card, or you could also make it a gamer, a video game. We had like a bunch of these when the kids were little. So they would wear them out and then we'd have to get another one, or they'd lose it and then we'd find it. And yeah, that was craziness. Okay. So now I have that piece on there. And now I'm going to take my little voodoo doll guy right here. This is a voodoo doll. He's so cute. He's one of my favorites. And we're going to put him on the card. And the card base, remember, is blue. So it matches everything that we have going on right now. So this one will go on top of here. So each layer, it gets cuter and cuter, doesn't it? And we're just going to put glue on the back of this, and we'll get it on this card real quick so we can do the final touches. You can hear it because it's got that like corrugated thing to it. It's hard to hold on to this when it's already set up like that, but I think that's pretty close to lined up. First, I'm going to just touch all the edges to make sure I have it in place, and then I'll flip it over and do the little rub on the back, which, by the way, as I said earlier, spreads the glue and gets a really good hold on that front for you. No bubbles, no nothing. It's just so cute. So this little guy is going to go right here, and then I chose this stamp set, just says hugs. That way I can use it for whatever I want. I can add, you know, hugs, happy birthday, or hugs, whatever I want. But hugs makes it easy for me to use it now, complete it now with you guys, and then use it later. So I was thinking that it would be really cute if the words were cut out of these words and then the backdrop was black because, you know, red and black, and, you know, I thought it would just match up that way. So let's try it. I have my little die cut machine right here, my handy little die cut machine that we can use. It is tiny, so I do have to cut the paper before I get started because it won't go through there if it's hanging off the edge. So I'm just going to hold this great big hugs right here so I know how far to cut the paper. So I'm just going to eyeball it because I don't care if it's straight or not. I just need a piece of it. On the other side is Minecraft. Reminds me of the claw machine, the aliens from Toy Story, and the claw chooses who will go and who will stay. Yes, it does. And you could make it into that. That would be so funny. In fact, I think she does have a claw stamp set, if I recall correctly. Oh, I think it has a stamp of the entire claw machine. But if you got creative, you could make the claw and stick it inside there. That would be so cute. That would really be cute. That's a good idea. And I might could do that for Christmas because I have the Christmas aliens. She has a set of Christmas aliens that is so cute. And I bought it last year because I wanted to do it for my Christmas cards, but I already have my Christmas cards made. So maybe it'll be this year. Who knows? We'll probably do it on a live because that's an excellent idea. But probably not for a little while. Okay, so that takes care of that part. Now I need to cut the background. This is double layered. So this die is from Whimsy Stamps. I really like their word dies. So mostly I'll be saying, this is from Whimsy each time I'm doing one of these dies. Because I really like them. I like that they give you the shadow with it because then you can use it that way or not. It's up to you. But you have options, which I really like. And I need some little spray for my squeaky die cut machine, but it works really good. So I'm not going to complain because I don't want it to break. All right. So now we have our... This is our background. This is the one that goes on top. And if you want to make it a little bit more dimensional, you could cut the words out more than once and it'll layer them up thicker. But I think we're okay with this one since we already have so much dimension on here already. So I'm just going to put glue on the back of my letters. And I love the precision of this tiny glue bottle. Which there's 2 size bottles, but we only have this tiny one in the shop. We don't have the regular size because honestly, I don't really use it. I mean, I have one, it sits on my desk, but ever since I got my hands on this little one, it just fits in my hand so much better that I quit using the larger one and it just sits there. So I was like, I mean, you can buy refill bottles and refill them. So to me, it was just easier to buy the little ones and the refills, and the little ones are cheaper. And so, you know, it all kind of makes sense for me. Okay, so I'm going to use this again. You'll see this is probably one of the most used tools in my craft room. Anytime people ask me, I mean, because I use it with every single project. But I thought if I put this up here a little bit, you know, kind of off the thing just a little bit, not all the way past the card. I don't really want it hanging that far, so maybe I'll turn it diagonal like that. But putting it up there will hide those round areas where you would put something for the training card. So I thought this would be cute like this. So now I'm going to put some glue kind of like just in the center because I am going to angle it and I don't want to put glue on this stuff that's going to be off the card. So I can always add more glue if I need to once I get it attached. I just needed glue in the center of it and then I can worry about adding more if I need it later. Like under here, I probably need a little bit under there unless I wanted to put something under there, which I don't. So I'm just going to stick this little precision tip underneath here and just add a little bit of glue so I can press that down. The smaller, the better for people with hand trouble. Yes, yes, for sure. I mean, I really like the little one. Plus it's travel size, so I can take it with me when I go places, and I don't know, it just all kind of works perfectly that size. So I'm going to do the same thing with him. I want him all the way down here, so his little feet will stick off just a teeny bit, but I want him to be sitting in the corner, so we're going to put him there. But we're not going to put any glue around the edges of his toes, because that part's probably going to hang off of the card a little bit. So these images, when you buy them as ephemera, are so great because look, it's already done for you. I colored it. We color them, scan them, print them, adjust them. We use the laser cutter and all that good stuff to finish them off. But yeah, so you get my coloring and you don't have to do it. it's kind of awesome. And before we came on this live, I went ahead and refilled my little embellishment tray here because I love these so much and I never know which one I want to use. So these are the, what are these? I forget what we call them in the shop. These are the resin, and then these are like the gemstones. I don't know which one I want to use. Maybe this one. I just refilled these, so I had plenty of them in here, but I wonder if that blue will look good. I have hand trouble and it's perfect. Oh, good, Beth. That's great. That's great to hear. I like that feedback. I also tore the tendon in my hand, in my right hand, a couple of years ago. I still have trouble with it, but it like right in here. So I have trouble with anything. I can't open jars and stuff like that. So Dale has to do them all for me. I think I like the lighter one better than the darker one. It's a little more subtle and there's a lot going on here. Or we could put the clear one. Nah, I don't like that one. Let's do this one. So yeah, I love this bling tray. I use it like crazy. I really love it. It's probably my second favorite thing. I think I'm still, the soda press is like so great. And there's 3 sizes when you get these, and you get somewhere around 90 something of these in your pack when you get them, these embellishments. So they're well worth the money because they are not very expensive. They're handmade in our shop as well. Dale hand makes all of them. So every now and then you'll have 1 or 2 with a little bit of irregularity, and that's just because it is handmade. But yeah, so he makes these. I told him he had to learn how to make this because we could not order them from China with the tariffs the way they are. So he figured it out. So I'm going to put 2 of them up there in the word hugs, and I'm going to put 3 of them down here, and then this card will be done. I mean, it was a pretty quick card. The longest part is making the shaker. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to make shakers easier and faster. So there's the next one. The next step is going to be the second way I learned how to make shaker cards. And then the last one will be the way I make shaker cards today. So these are different, just different ideas and different processes you can use. And maybe you'll even find something in your stash that you already have, and you'll be able to make these yourself without having to buy any additional type stuff. So again, I use this tool to press them down. It's glossy paper, it'll slide a little bit, so be careful. But pressing them down will get them a good hold. And I'm not pressing real hard. I'm just making sure that they're in place where I want them. So there's our shaker. Shaker number 1. I didn't put the white on the inside, but I will. Oh, and by the way, I have to show you guys this. I got my new thing. Now it says Doux Designs. I'm excited. I finally got my new stamp thingy and my signature's on there, and so now I just stamp it and I'm good to go. You should always sign your work. Otherwise, no one will know you did it. All right, so card number 2. This is the second way I learned how to make it. Here we go. We have all of the little goodies right here. So we're going to put this little guy away. That's the cool part. It has a lid on it. So here's 2 different shaker bits. And I thought because the color of this little guy right here kind of works really good with this peanut butter, but this is alphabets, and I kind of wanted this card to be somewhat school since it's school time, and this one has a lot of alphabets in it, so I'm gonna kind of mix the 2 together so we, you know, have some other options and stuff. So we're gonna use this voodoo doll this time. He's cute. Headed to bed. Okay, get some good rest. I hope you feel better. Okay. I have a whole bunch of papers here because I didn't know what color or what. I didn't cut this one all up to get ready, but I wanted to use this paper right here because I think it's pretty neat. I like this side with the candy because I feel like it goes really cute with the school stuff. This is again, let me see, where's the paper pad from? I think this is Scrappy Boy as well. Yes. So this is the Scrappy Boy Enchanted Forest. So it has some really cool little foresty pictures. So I got that from him, from Scrappy Boy, Sean. Okay, so we're going to use this side of the paper. So in that case, I chose all of these papers that kind of match that because I feel like it matches this little guy really well too. And then what we need for our shaker is one of these. So this is a envelope card. This is an envelope pouch, like a clear envelope. You can get them to put your cards in after you make your cards, which is what I generally use them for. You just put them in here and then they're protected and you can show them to people and they won't get messed up. And you can even mail them in these. Just put a sticker over there, put the address, and they're good to go. Or I put envelopes in there if I'm going to give them away or sell them and then put it in the plastic. But today we're going to use this plastic as our shaker. So this is the second way I discovered how to do this. Okay, so I think our card base should be this one. I think that would be great, and these will be accent colors. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this one. And I'm going to use my tool to burnish those edges. And then I'm going to choose what color paper I want to use next. So let's see. This is really the full size of the card. See how it's the full size of the card. So in order to make this one, I usually like them smaller than that. I usually like my shaker to be smaller, like about that big. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut the paper and make the whole, like, everything that we want. And then if we need to cut this down, we can. But for now, you could just decorate it up, stick it in there, put the shaker mix in, and you're all done. So kind of up to you how you want to do that. But that's how I used to do them. Then I fold it over and done. Clear envelope for shaker is brilliant. Yep. And you don't have to pay anything. But since I want to show you a little more, I want to show you how, what if you want it to be slightly smaller? Like, what if you want the border around here to show? I'll show you how to cut this down so you can still use this envelope. Okay? So we're going to start cutting our paper. I want one that is about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, smaller than the actual card base. So I am going to cut this one at 4 1/8 instead of 4 1/4. And then this, I'm going to cut this to, wait, let me think about this for a second. So 4 1/4, okay, and this one I want to go down 1/8 of an inch. So there we go. I'm going to test just so we don't mess it up. So I just wanted to have like a little teeny border around her, and I do not want this to be inside the envelope. I want this to be on the outside. So the next layer that I want to do is I would like to do this blue layer next, and then the pattern paper. So we are going to make this one 1/8 of an inch smaller than the last one. So if we had this at 4 1/8, this one will be at 4. And we had this one at 1 2 3 8, and now we're going to put it at 4 1/4. So just going 1/8 of an inch down each time. This is going to go here. So I want this to just mat on there with about the same amount of room. No, I think it needs a little bit more. So I'm going to take another 1/8, so it'll be 1/4 of an inch. Just because I want to see more of that red. So I'm going to take another 1/8 inch off. And then this will fit in here, but I will be able to see that border around there. Okay? That is not going to go in the envelope. We're getting there though, I promise. Okay, pattern paper. This one is going to go in the envelope. Okay? So now that we've cut these down, I have to know what size they are. So this is 7/8. So for this one, I want it to be 3 3/4. And then I'm going to turn it around and going this way. This one was 5 1/8. So I want this one to be 4 7/8. So I did about 1/4 of an inch for this one as well. Well, I did 1/4 of an inch at the top, but not on the sides. So one more 1/8 inch and we'll be good to go. All right, so it should be the same distance all the way around. It is. That's perfect. This is going to be in the envelope. Are you going to bed, Beth? You going to watch later? You're really going to like this. Okay, so I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to stick it inside this envelope. Okay? And always with the sticky part to the back of it. So I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to put this all the way down to the corner. So you'll see there's this big, large space right here. Now, if you wanted to, you could just fold that over and tuck it down. But if you do that, it's going to buckle because there's so much plastic like folding over. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and we're going to trim straight down here, like just inside where that piece of paper is. So you just cut down here, okay? And then we're going to cut along the bottom. If I can get my scissors up underneath there, hold on. There we go. We cut along the bottom here, like this, okay? And then when you pull this over, it's going to pull it tighter and it's going to fit better. So I'm going to cut off a piece of this because we don't need all this behind it. So I'm going to cut right where that fold is so we don't have to worry about that fold anymore. So just alongside here. And it doesn't have to be cut straight because it's going to be on the back and nobody's going to see it and it's not going to matter. So don't worry too much about that. And then we're going to fold this over and we're going to double sticky tape this down. Just like that. Okay, So I actually have some double-sided sticky tape. It'll take too long for the glue to dry, so I'm just going to use the sticky tape for ease and quickness. So I'm going to stick the sticky tape right here, all the way up to where the paper ends, like that. Then we're going to take this off. We're going to take this, and don't pull it too snug because you need room for that shaker mix to fit in there. We're going to fold that over, press it down, and then I'm going to actually use my tool that like scores, burnishes, whatever the word is, that plastic wrap all the way down. So now my pouch is exactly the size that I want it to be, but I have this extra like craziness right here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just cut that right up to the edge, and then we're going to cut this piece off right here where we folded it all the way down. Now, when we take this and we fold it over to seal it off, it'll all lay perfectly flat. Okay, so it makes a perfect pouch. So you just cut it to whatever size you want it to be. We're going to go ahead and put shaker bits inside of here. And like I said, I want some of the alphabet, and I want some, I'm going to put it in my little, tray, because I think that way I won't spill it all over the place. Ooh, if I can find my tray. You guys, we have a lot of stuff on the desk. There it is. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of this in here. There's apples and whatever looks teacher-ish in here. And then this one is the peanut butter, just because it looks like peanut butter. I'm going to put some of that in there. And then I'm going to dump it in here, and if I need more, I'm going to get more. This will mix it up. So they all fit in there. I think we need more alphabets because the peanut butter is a little bit more overpowering. So I'm going to put some more of my alphabets in there. There's beads and all kinds. I mean, I put all kinds of stuff in these mixes, but I really want you to be able to see the alphabets. So now you can see them. Oh, I'm just too smart for you. I shook it with it open. Don't do that, because then it goes all over your desk. Don't do that, but yeah. Make sure you hold it closed if you want to shake it before you seal it to make sure it's enough. I think this is perfect. So I'm going to leave it at this. So I'm just going to pull this tab. I'm going to take that clear envelope, and this time I am going to pull it down. I want it to be really snug. Just like that. And then I take the burnishing tool again and just burnish this, because it just helps hold it exactly where you want it to be. I'll put these back in here because they didn't make it in the shaker box, in the shaker kit. All right, this is my peanut butter. This is my alphabet. Now I'm finished with these, and they can go back in my little case for next time. I got an A that escaped. And now I have this piece right here. And by the way, this is very flexible because it's an envelope. So it's not real stiff like the other stuff is. But it's okay. It still works just as good. So now I'm going to attach this to my blue piece of paper. Now, could I have attached them all together and stuck it inside the envelope? Yes. And if I had been doing that without doing it live, I probably would have done that, just because for ease of time. But I wanted you to be able to see that you could actually cut it down, the envelope, to make it whatever size you want it to be. So I'm going to use this double-sided sticky because it dries faster than the glue. But if I had been doing this on my own, I would have used the glue, because I don't use this sticky stuff very often. So I'm just pretty happy with the Barely Art glue, so I don't really, which is why I picked it up to carry it in the shop. It's the only thing that we carry in our shop that isn't ours. Everything else is ours. sticking that down. I will put a little bit of glue around the middle just to make sure that it sticks in the middle. But I'll do that after I peel these off. And we still have one more way, and it's even easier than this one. And this one was pretty easy. Pretty easy. So here we go. Now, if we're worried about this sticking, because you know this kind of tape sticks super fast, you can put a little bit of glue on it, and it will allow you a little bit of movement so that you don't accidentally touch it down like I just did, and not be able to pick it back up. I think this is pretty good right here. So I'm just going to roll with it. I think it's perfect. So I'm going to spread my shakies out all over the card so I can flip it over and rub the back a little bit with my tool to make sure I get a pretty good hold. And I don't want to do it very hard because I don't want to bend anything that's not supposed to be bent. Okay. Then this one on top of that one and so forth. So you saw the first one took us a lot longer to do than this one did. This one is way faster. So when I discovered it, I was really excited because I was like, oh, yay, now I can use all these shaker mixes I love so much. And now I get to make them myself, so I get to make them with what I like in them, so it's super exciting. I'm just going to rub that real quick. Then we're going to attach this one to that one. My old Creative Memories page protectors, I could cut them down and make shaker cards. Yes, you could, because I know exactly what you're talking about. So I used to sell Creative Memories, and I used to cut those envelopes down to fit picture sizes that I wanted to use. Or if I wanted to put, like, when my kids got awards at school or things like that, I would cut those down to fit the size of the award or the paper or whatever. And that's where I got this idea from. Once I started making a few shaker cards, I was like, man, I used to do that for Creative Memories. I bet I could just cut that down. So yes, that works the same way as the envelope. So yeah, now we have a shaker card. We just have to decorate up real quick. I have another word die I want to cut real quick. This one, if you were to buy this one, you'd be like, what? So this is the background for the word. It's the shadow, but look at the word is bigger than the shadow. See? The word is bigger than the shadow, and I'll tell you why. It has to be rewarding to play with your own creations. It is very exciting, and I'm loving the shakers. I really am liking them. I liked them in the bag. I like them even better now that I started working with them. I decided to do it in this color and maybe the blue color. Well, do I have red? We could do it we'll do it in these two colors. Let's do the word in this one and the matte in that one. Yeah, it's really exciting. Where do I buy them from? Where do I buy the clear envelopes? Is that what you're asking about? Because where I buy mine, you don't have to necessarily buy them there. I buy mine from Stampin' Up! Just because I like the quality of it, and sometimes when I like something enough, you can't get me to change. But you can also buy them on Amazon. The problem is that when I bought them on Amazon once, I got them, they were too small. They didn't fit the card and an envelope in them, and I was selling my cards at that time. So I was frustrated. So I went back to Stampin' Up! And that I just get them there all the time because I know they will always fit my card and an envelope, and that's what I like. But if you want to do it just for cards, you could buy it on Amazon. Don't matter if it doesn't fit. It's still going to fit the front of the card. So super easy. Yes, I placed an order with Stampin' Up! Today. All these solid papers that we use, they're all Stampin' Up! I use all their cardstock. I really like it. I mean, everybody has their own favorite cardstock, but this is mine when I'm making cards. And I hardly ever make a white card base. It's always colored. And it's because I'm using Stampin' Up! Paper, and it's just thicker and better than the other ones that I get at Michael's or whatever. So, I just like them. I just like it. So, yeah, all my paper is Stampin' Up! So I buy my envelope. No, I don't buy my envelopes there anymore. I have envelopes in our shop now. But I buy the clear envelopes and all the paper. So, and I'm still buying that. I just placed an order tonight, in fact. Okay, here's how this works. So this is our base, and then we have to put our words on top of that. And the pattern that you do it in is up to you. So here's where the W goes. And then here's where the other W goes, just so you can kind of see how this is going to place together. I'm not going to stick it on there yet. But the O can either go on top of the two W's or underneath one, and, you know, or underneath both. You can kind of choose how you want that to be. So for me, I'm just going to do it one under, one over. No rhyme or reason to that. It's just that's what works in my head. So I'm going to start with this one because each one's going to be on top of it. So this needs to be the first one that goes down. So that's why you have to decide, so you know which one to put down first. So I'm going to place this one down first. And this is also from, I think this is from Whimsy's as well. Let me double check real quick. And by the way, this isn't just Wow, it's Wowzers. And so you get a bunch of other, you get some others. Yeah, it is Whimsy. So you get a background that says Wowzers, and you get the Zers. So you get the Wow and the Wowzers. And then you can make it whatever you want. But yeah. And then they have one that says OMG, and they have one that says Good Grief. They have one that says Get Well Soon, one that says Oops. So I really like these ones that you get to like layer on top of each other. I just think it's neat. I really, really like these. So, yep. So I use theirs. I still can't do any ordering from China yet, so no dies for us yet. But let me tell you, when I can, I have so many ideas for you guys. It's not even funny. I'm so excited. I can't wait to make dies. Dies are so fun to make. I love them. There we go. It's same with you. It's awesome paper. It is. I know. I love it. And I have all of them. And I hate when it's the switch over time and they do away with some colors and then bring in new colors. And I'm okay with the end colors, but I hate when they end a color. It didn't look like they did that much this time though. So I'm really excited about that, because then I got to change up my whole organization, because that one isn't anymore, and it just becomes a little bit frustrating, but yeah, I don't use their ink or anything. I did for a long time, but it's water-based, and I'm a Copic girl, and I like the alcohol stuff, so I don't really have any colored stamps. I sold all of mine from Stampin' Up! Years and years ago when I started coloring and quit doing all that. Here's where I'm going to put Wow. Like, I was thinking this would be really cute to send to Cooper, like, wow, you're in the 2nd grade, you know, or whatever you wanted to put on there. You could do. Hi, Lori. Happy to see you here. We're making shaker cards. We have one more to go, so you did not miss it. Okay, so we're not going to put any bling on this one, but I am going to kind of sort of fancy up that word wow real quick in a minute once I get these stuck down. So this is the ephemera, the little ephemera voodoo doll rabbit, and it will stick to this envelope with the Barely Art glue, so no issues at all. but it will move around for a little bit until it dries because it is on plastic, and but it will do it. It just, you know, got to be patient. And since I'm at the end of the card, I don't mind waiting using the glue rather than trying to put little tiny pieces of double-sided sticky tape on here. So I'm going to stick this one up here. And what I like about this is when I get done, I'll show you, but the shaker bits, they go all the way behind all of the words. So you can shake it the whole length of the card. It's pretty cool. I'm selling all my Stampin' Up! Stamps. I was kind of a hoarder. Oh, yeah, I did that a long time ago. Well, I didn't sell them all. I have a few that, like, are really dear to my heart that I have held on to. But a lot of them, first I converted them all from wood block to acrylic type stuff, and then I sold them. And I just don't buy them that much. I mean, basically, they're not made for, this is my white gel pen. They're not made for coloring, really. You know, they're kind of stamps that you sort of need that, as we said, that colored ink to do. And I don't have colored ink, so they just don't work for me. By the way, I ordered me a new gel pen because I did break this one the other night. So I'm barely making it scrape by right now until the new ones come in. It's refillable, but when I opened it up, I cracked the lid, so I had to buy a new one. So I'm waiting for that to come in. So it moves around when I'm trying to do something with it, so it's not very cooperative, but I'm making the best until the new one comes in. And I bought two in case I break it again. I don't know why I'm so rough on my stuff, but it happens. So I'm just putting some fancy little, you know, things on there. And you could do that with black as well if you wanted to. Just turning in, that's a fun card. Oh, yeah, you want to see the other one real quick? We're going to do one more, but this is the other one that we did earlier. So we did these two. They're shaker cards. I'm starting to sell all my inks and markers and stamps from Stampin' Up. Yep. And then we're going to make one more, and it's going to be even faster than those two were. But I hope you guys like that. It's so cute. And it's an ephemera, so we didn't have to do any coloring or anything like that. It's just super cute and fast. Okay, here's the last one. This one is this. I didn't realize when we started, this one has the same doll, but it's sitting a little bit different. But this one is going to be Trick or Treat. So now I'm going to use this. So this right here, this is genius, by the way. We're trying to figure out how to make these, and when we do, they'll be in our shop too. These are some of our samples. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. But these ones are, if you need to get them, these are from Trinity Stamps. I really like them. They're not expensive. You get 5 of them. This size is 4 by 5 and a quarter, so it's a 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card. So we're just going to use this. And it's super fast and easy. As you can see, I already have another bag because I can't be without it. So we're just going to put this together. And this is the card where I was going to use the caution because I'm going to make this a Halloween card. So I chose green paper with frogs on it and then Boo. And then I chose 3 green papers. Yes. And so we're going to put this card together. I think the card base that I'm going to do, this color. And then these will be accent colors. And I don't know if we'll need that darker green or not. But I wanted to have an extra one out just in case we needed it. So we'll see if we need it or not. And then the sugar bits we're going to use for this one is sweet and sour. I mean, it looks like candy. Kind of like candy. It has like lemons in there and then pieces of candy. And so I called it sweet and sour. And it works perfect for Halloween, sweet and sour. All right, so for this one, it is going to fit over this card where the fold, see where the fold is? That's going to be the front of the card. The rest of the stuff is going to fold around the back. So it is literally going to be really close to those edges. So no paper underneath it. The paper has to actually go inside the pocket. So these are thinner papers. I'm not going to use any solid color, but I do want to kind of use both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this one down to just slightly under the 4 1/4, because that way it will be just inside for those sides to fold down. So instead of measuring at exactly 4, I'm going to measure just a teensy bit, maybe a 1/16 of an inch smaller. And I'm going to do the same thing for 5 1/4. I'm going to go just down a little bit. That way it'll fit inside that envelope, but it won't squish and fold it, if that makes sense. So it fits right in there like that. These are fairly thin papers, so I want to go ahead and put them on top of each other while they're in here. But I want it to be I want this square to be significantly smaller. I am going to put this guy inside where this square is, but on the outside of the card, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? We'll get there. You'll see in a minute. Okay, so this was a 1/16 of an inch smaller than 4, so I'm going to go down to about 3 1/2. And then this one was just under 5 1/4, so I'm going to go all the way to, I'm going to turn this around because there's something at the top of that paper, 4.75, and I'm going to trim that off. Now I have these extra papers. I'm going to pull in the other side of this paper because it says Happy Halloween on it, and I really like the Happy Halloween. So I thought we could use it on top of this paper. I mean, why not? It's the other side of this. So this will fit in here. You can still see the boo and the Happy Halloween. So I really like that. I did pull out this Trick or Treat, but I'm not sure how well that's going to fit. It's pretty big. So we might just leave it with the Happy Halloween, but we'll have to see as we get there. So for this one, this stuff that's going to be inside the shaker pouch has to be pretty solid. So I'm going to make sure that I'm really close to the edge when I put this glue on there, because I don't want any of the shaker bits to go underneath my paper when I'm shaking it around. So it needs to be sealed really well on the edges. So normally I don't take this much time making sure I have it all around the edges, but for this particular scenario, you want to make sure you have it around all the edge. For those of you coming in late, this is a must-watch replay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, just 3 different ways to make shaker cards in the order that I learned them. So, I mean, the middle one is the one that I discovered on my own. I found these shaker pouches at a show when Trinity was at the show, and they had them and I was excited to try them. I tried the round ones. I did not like them, but you can try them if they work for you. Then, or maybe I don't know how to do them right and I should watch a video. But I couldn't get it to stay. I even put a book on the project for like a week and a half, and it just would not stay down. It just kept popping back up. So I was kind of unhappy with how my round one ended up. So I don't buy the round ones anymore, but the rectangles, the squares, they have all different sizes. I'm pretty sure Trinity has like a lot of different sizes. Like one that would fit on the first card we did, one that would fit the full size of the A2 card. So they have a lot of options. So if you want to check them out, I have a affiliate link I can post in this video underneath if you guys want it. This is the caution tape from the construction vehicle, from the construction vehicles set, and I want to add this inside here because we're going to put him on the front. So I need to see where I want him to be, and then I need to move the caution tape. Maybe I want one more. Pretty sure there were more in this set. Let me grab it. There's quite a few in this set. We put quite a few in this set. So grab one more. So you can use this caution tape for the construction vehicles, but we're using it for Halloween. They even have under construction signs. Okay, so I wanted this to be, I kind of wanted this to be just a little bit wider, bigger, whatever you want to call it. So I kind of wanted this to be like this. So I want this one to be on top, that one to be underneath, like this. This is kind of a challenge, isn't it? Then I want this one on top of that one, and then I want this one down here. So I'm just choosing it to be almost like mummified, kinda. I think I'm gonna need this one to be way over here because this little guy is gonna sit about right here. So I want you to be able to see enough of the caution that it's gonna be really cute. So there we go. That's the way. That's the way I want it to be. So what I'm gonna do is just lift them up. Like I'm gonna lift this up, and then I'm gonna take the construction out, and I'm going to glue it. Remember, around the edge, really close to the edge, just so you know nothing will go up underneath it when the shaker bits are in there. I'm gonna actually smear that a little bit with my finger so it doesn't ooze too much on the outside. Now I'm gonna hold it again. I want it to slide under there, and I want it to be up here. Okay, so I'm good with that. So I'm gonna use this. Nice. Okay, now we're gonna do this one because this word is gonna be next. Right around the edge, all the way around the edge. I mean, this is up pretty far. I don't usually do this much construction in a shaker, but these pouches work really good, so I think we're gonna be okay. This is gonna go over top of that one. Again, this was just the back side of the frog paper. So I'm gonna press that down, then I'm gonna flip it over, and you guys know I'm gonna rub it really good with this tool. All right, next, I'm gonna put this one over here. I'm gonna set him back up because I wanna make sure that it fits on here like really perfectly. I'm a little worried about like it looking silly if it's not in the right place. You know what I mean? Perfect. Okay. So I definitely want it to be like that. So the easiest thing to do would be to lift this up, put a teeny tiny bit of glue down here, and then lay these down so they will attach to each other. Like that. And then that way, when I glue this one down, both of them, it'll go in the right place. So just making sure I go along the edge, really close to the edge. Same thing on this one. And I know it's going to be hard because, there we go. Just right around the edge, really close. Now we're going to stick this one right here is where I had it. So the other one will fit right in there. Perfect. See how that worked out? Now I know it works. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to rub this really good. Make sure we have a good seal on all of those little layers. And flip it over. So cool. All right, now this piece is going to go inside here and then on top of here when we get to that point. So these always come with a film over them. While they look like they're rather clear, they have a film over them. So I never know which side it's on. So I just take my tweezers and back here on this piece, I just dig. If it doesn't lift up, then I know I'm on the wrong side. If it does, then I know I'm good. So this one lifted up. So when you peel it off, it literally is completely see-through. So it's cloudy here, but when you peel this off, it's great. Need that caution tape for work. Band book week is coming up. Oh yes, it sure would. Yep, that would be great. Okay, we're gonna place this in upside down, okay? This is how easy this is. There's 4 sides to it. They have a score line. So I just rotate it around, folding up this piece right here. Just like that. And then the last piece I'm going to fold as well. And then I'm going to leave this piece open. The other ones, we're going to go ahead and glue those down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put double-sided sticky tape on it just because it's going to be faster to dry, faster to stick than it is if I use the glue. So we're going to use the double-sided sticky tape. And it's easier if you put the tape on the back of this little design here rather than putting it on the plastic piece. Now I know in the past I've done videos where I put it on the plastic piece. I can't remember. It might have been, maybe it was May made it, or somebody I was watching on YouTube said, don't put it on the plastic thing. It's a lot easier if you just stick it to the paper. And I thought, well, that's kind of genius. I should have thought of that. But it didn't. But somebody else did. And they shared. So now I'm sharing with you. I can't remember who told me that, but it might have been her. I think May had a, I think it's her on my mind because I watched a video where she said like 6 or 7 tips you never thought of or whatever. And I just keep thinking that might have been one of them. So I'm going to do 3 sides first. Then we're going to fill it with shaker bits. And then I will do the 4th side. So I go ahead and do them one side at a time. So I'm going to hold this here too, because when I fold that over, it's going to kind of shove the paper. So you want to make sure that you're holding it down the whole time. Once I have touched the tape, I'm going to use this burnisher and I'm going to burnish that down. I want to make sure that that stays really secure. Then I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to do each side so that the paper stays in the center without me messing anything up. I got a little bit of this tape over the edge, so I'm just going to fold it back. Then we're going to press this one over just like we did the last time, and we're going to use our tool. I'm going to burnish that tape down there so it sticks really good. And then we can do the bottom piece. So don't go around in a circle. Don't do the bottom piece after you do both sides. Same process. Now, when we have that done, there's like a whole lot of room to drop in whatever you want to put in this shaker. So, yay. I have this sweet and sour. If it's not enough, then I will add some of the candy pop to it. I wasn't sure if this would be enough, so we'll just test it out, and if not, we'll add the candy pop because it's the same colors, sort of. It just doesn't have any of the lemons in it. As I said, it has happy faces instead. So we'll just see how well this one does. Might not be enough. Doesn't look like much, does it? So it's Halloween, so this is candy. That's why I use this one. I have them stuck in there. There we go. Okay. Sometimes they get a little finicky when you first put them in there. I'm going to add some more of this, but I'm going to, just bear with me. I'm going to take the happy faces out. I don't really want happy faces in there. But the rest of it looks a lot like the shaker mix. So I can put happy faces on cards. So I'm okay with it not being in there. I might even use just all the rest of it, except for the happy faces. I don't want happy faces in my Halloween card. There we go. I think I got them all out. And if I didn't, joke's on me. There will be a happy face. I'm going to put these back in my candy pop dish so I can use them later. Maybe I'll get some more candy pop out of the shop and then I can add it to that. Ah ha ha ha. Yay! That is going to be perfect. So I'm going to hold this closed real quick and kind of shake it up. Make sure I get it all the way wound up the way I want it to be. So I got it sitting up there. They're a little finicky, aren't they? Just going to move them around real quick. Make sure I get them all happy. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add that last piece along here. So it was easy to put my shaker bits in there. This is the most simple way to do it, I think. Once you know how to tape it up, it's really simple. This is my go-to now. It used to be the clear plastic envelope, but now it's this just because I like it so much. I'm trying to make Dale figure out how to make it so I can carry him in the shop. There we go. All right, so now when you close it up, it gives you enough space to shake, but not enough space for it to do anything else. Oh, I just love this one. Every single time I get done with one, I think it's better than the last one. I know we already folded a piece of paper for this. Yep, here it is. This one is going to go on top of here. See, it's going to be perfect. And just for grins, I'm going to use this around the outside. And then I'll use Barely Art glue in the center. Just because I want to make sure it holds real quick since we're on a live. But normally I would just use Barely Art glue. But then it would take a couple of seconds for it to, like, you know, dry and hold and all that stuff. And I want to be able to shake it right away because we're on a live. If we have enough space, we'll add the trick or treat. But it's kind of big, so I'm not sure it's going to fit. All right. So I'm going to take this off. 1, 2, 3. I love these tweezers. I do use them a lot too. I got them on Amazon. Or you can get them at Crazy Creations if you shop there. I am going to touch around this tape just so I'll be able to move it when I lay it down. Here we go. Time to center. These are perfect every single time when you do these shakers, these shaker pouches. I have never had an issue with any of them. Every single time I put them on there, they're like absolutely perfect. And you can buy them a little bit smaller so it has a border, or you can buy them the full size of the front of the card. Some people like the full size of the front of the card. I like there to be a border, but that's a personal preference, so kind of up to you. Then we're going to take this little voodoo guy and we're going to stick him on top. And yes, I'm just going to use Barely Art glue. A little faster. He'll slide around at first, you know, until he gets a grip on the paper. I might actually be able to fit this on there. Oh yeah, that might be kind of fun too. We should do it. I think we should do it. Let's move him down just a tad. I'm glad we tested that. Yep, it's going to fit. It's going to be perfect. So let's let him sit there and dry himself real quick. I think we're going to do it, I don't know, should we do it in black? Or we could do it in dark green. Nope, I like the black. So, there we go. We're doing it.
Red over there.
Huh?
What about the red over there?
No, there's no red on that card, honey. There's pink, but there's no red. Okay, I already have a piece of paper, so we're just going to use that. Or we could use the, nope, because the boo is going in the wrong direction. So, yep, got to use the black. Here we go. This will fit right on my little guy right here. I don't remember where I got this trick or treat die. I don't remember at all. But it is purple, so if anyone knows who makes purple dies, maybe they can help out. But I don't know. All right, here we go. We are almost done, you guys. We made 3 cards tonight. Quick and easy cards. So this just comes right out of here. And I like that it looks kind of spooky. I am going to punch out these other little pieces that are still stuck in there. Should be pretty easy. They don't really take much effort. This die cuts really well. You know how sometimes they don't, but this one really does. So now we have this really cool trick or treat, which I think, oh yeah. Okay, I like it. I'm very glad we decided to do that. I'm very glad. So now I'm just going to use the Barely Art glue. I'm going to go just kind of a little bit all the way around the letters so they stick good. You can do it pretty fast. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as you get a little bit on each letter. Oops. And then you drop it on your desk, and yeah, that's just grand. I'm going to put it right here towards the top, but I want to still be able to see a little bit of the black paper above it. So we're just going to stick it there like that. Anywhere where the glue comes out, it doesn't really matter. It's going to dry clear, so you don't have to worry about that. Look at how cute that is. Okay, I'm going to use my silver pen this time, I think. I have a silver pen. It's the same kind of ink pen as the white gel pen, but I think the silver will look cool. And I'm just going to do a little bit of decorating along the trick or treat. So kind of like just the left side of each letter. There's no real rhyme or reason to that. I'm just getting some color on there so it'll show up. See? It just makes that word pop out. Trick or... I mean, it doesn't really matter how you doodle. Whatever doodle works for you. I got a piece of that paper behind there that was from the A. There we go. And then same thing here. I'm just going to do this one just like I did the other letters above. Let's see. How do I want to do that? The top, top, top. This side. Here, and here. And now they match, and it pops where it didn't like pop before. I'm not going to put any bling on this because I can anticipate this would be a Cooper card, so a boy card, so I'm not going to put any bling on that one. I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see all 3 of them. That is how I make shaker cards. We have a lot of shaker bits in the shop. You should check them out because they're really fun. And the things that are inside them, I made it up so you're not going to find them anywhere else. So check them out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did them like this. 1, 2, 3. And so this is all ephemera from one ephemera pack. Look how fast you can make. Nope, 2, because we took the caution tape from the constructions, and we took the other ones from this creepy fun set, and then the constructions. These are $3.75 in the shop. So they're priced really well, and you can get so many and whip out cards pretty darn quick with them. The paper pad that I used for this one was Doodlebug. I think it was an older set, so I'm not sure how well you'll be able to find it today, but it does look like this. It's called Happy Haunting. I really love Doodlebug, so I have a lot of Doodlebug stuff. So that's the paper pad on this. The other ones were Scrappy Boy. The images were ours. The shaker bits are ours. Yeah, so wow, 3 cards. We didn't do any coloring tonight, but I didn't figure we need to if we use the ephemera. And you guys hadn't really seen much of the ephemera, so I thought it would be fun to do with something a little different tonight. So on Thursday, I'm contemplating making the box on Thursday because people were asking, how did I make my box that I made the other day? If you look in our group, fans of Doux Designs on Facebook, or you can look at any of our social media, I made a post that showed a box with some card games in it. So I'm contemplating doing that on Thursday, so make sure you check in, and check in on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And you can see, I will give you the measurements as I'm making the box, and it will fit ATC cards. So if you make ATCs, you could definitely use that box for that. So we'll do that, and so I will see you. We'll probably use more ephemera because we won't have time to color if we're making a box, blah, blah, blah. You guys know how that works. Just follow me on social media. You can do lives here. You can watch the replays on YouTube, always. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lori. I'm glad you liked the tips. I try to come up with stuff for you guys. I hope you had a great time. I did. I now have 3 shaker cards I'm super excited about. So you guys have a great evening, and I will see you on Thursday. Good night.